Hello Sober Souls. Got my iPad set up here, so just checking I'm going to pop up live. I hope you're having a great week so far. It's just super windy today here in the UK, and I've just been for a wild walk across the fields with Barney Pup, who's not so much of a pup anymore. He is 8 months, just over 8 months. So let me see. I'm just waiting for me to pop up live so I can hopefully see your comments. There I am. There I am. Nobody has joined me yet, but hopefully someone is joining me. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining me live. Great to have you live with me. As you're hopping on, give this video a heart or a like, please. I would so appreciate it because it helps more people to see the content. Any questions, any comments, drop them below or send me a private message. I love to connect with you. I love to hear from you. And it really is fun actually just chatting with you all over the world, popping into my inbox with various messages about various things. So I love to connect. Okay, so today I am talking about, and I'm looking down because I have my iPad here, I have my notes here, but I'm talking about creating that soul-aligned guided structure, which we really need to have in place so that we stay on our alcohol freedom sobriety path, however that looks for you. And the first thing I want to say is it's a super personal journey. There are so many ways of getting and staying sober. Everybody is at different places and having different experiences, but we're all headed in the same direction. We're all looking for that freedom, that ultimate soul freedom. So really coming from this neutral, judgment-free place is so important, and it really does begin with ourselves, and it's a journey. So why do we need to have structure in place? Well, when I first started my journey just over 7 years ago, in fact before, I had so many attempts at not drinking, and I could do, you know, the days, the weeks, I did a couple of months, but then I'd always end up going back to drinking again. And the approach that I used just wasn't working. And for me, it was just hoping I wouldn't drink. I kept almost like hanging on, hoping I was going to make it, clinging onto the very edge of it. And it didn't feel at all good. It didn't feel stable. So when I finally did quit, just over 7 years ago, I've had a few drinking experiments in that time, as I always mention. But what I really noticed and understood is that I had to have some kind of a plan in place to keep me anchored, to keep me feeling supported and grounded and centered. And this didn't come all at once. It's something that it grew with me. And this is what now has become the Wellness Tree. And I'm going to be doing a free training on the Wellness Tree soon. 27th of November, we have our free workshop coming up. So I will be diving into that more than in this video. But really it's a template. The Wellness Tree is a template. And whatever you use, it doesn't have to be that. Whatever works for you is perfect. But there's certain things to really understand as you're creating your plan. First of all, just know that within we have our own internal compass. we have that guidance already. That, I like to call it that divine guidance. Use whatever resonates with you, whatever you believe in, whether that is God, source, spirit, energy, nature, love, whatever resonates with you. See if you can connect with that and build a relationship with that. I literally didn't have anything there when I first stopped drinking. I couldn't connect with anything. But that's something that has just gradually come. It's gradually come. But what's been vital for me is to create space to listen for that guidance. And all the time that we are hurrying around, we are keeping busy, we're not feeling, and we're wanting to squash and to numb and to distract and to avoid, we're just not going to hear that. And I can still fall into those patterns. I'm not perfect at all. So I will tend to overeat or reach for junk food, or I will spend way too much money or be scrolling on my phone or something, or just forget to breathe, or just not go out into nature and connect. You know, I will do that and it doesn't feel good. And I know that as soon as I do make that time and put that energy and what's the word I want, the effort into doing that, then I feel like, there it is, I've come back. But this really has been something that wasn't there to begin with, and it's definitely been a real process of clearing away all of my kind of toxic living, my lifestyle, over drinking, overeating, too much sugar, too much junk, the toxins that I was living with in my house, cleaning products, things like that. So it's really been a journey of just eliminating as much as possible and to really live. This is my mission, really, is to live as consciously, as intentionally as I possibly can. And I think for all of us, that is just so important. So we are looking to create a plan, to create that guided structure, have that in place so that we feel anchored. We are supporting our nervous systems as we let go of alcohol or whatever habit you're wanting to release right now. Maybe you're already alcohol free, perhaps you're working on sugar, perhaps you're on a weight loss journey, or whatever the thing is, whatever you're looking to create, you want to have something in place. And this is what I work on with in my programs with my clients, is really having the healthy habits and the rituals and the routines in place so that your day is structured. So 3 things to help you really actually is a little formula. So we are all here wanting to create and work a new life, a new soul-aligned life that feels good, and that we are all navigating through life's challenges, because there's always going to be stuff, right? That's life. And we want to create and maintain that inner sense of peace, calm, feeling in control, almost having that steel, that iron rod in the middle. And this is where we want to always try and practice coming back into balance. And this is where we have to make our conscious choices every day and just ask, is this in alignment? Does this feel good? So what happens if we don't have a plan in place is that we start to lose focus. we start off on the right footing. We're going along, we've got, you know, something in place, we've got our habits, our routines, we know what we're going to do. And then we take our eye off the ball and we slowly start drifting. And we let things in our day start to affect us. Triggers, people, places, things, emotions, thoughts. We get sucked into our emotional drama and we lose our energy. We're giving our energy away to these things. We lose focus, we start drifting, and then this creates tiredness and exhaustion. So we're really not taking care of our energy. And so then that can lead to not great choices. And then we've fallen off our plan. And then we're like, oh my God, here I am again, back in that day one cycle. So the biggest trick here, if that's you, if you're there right now, firstly, forgive yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Just come from that place and say, oh well, that happened. Let's get back on track as quickly and swiftly as possible. And this happened to me actually last weekend on my sugar freedom plan. I kind of went into the cake world too much and overate cake and just felt terrible and rubbish, and thought, no, hang on, it is about really taking responsibility, just drawing that line and saying, this is a practice. This is a practice and it's not easy, and change requires repetition. Our subconscious loves repetition, and it's up to us to reposition ourselves, right? Let's repeat the good stuff. Let's repeat what's working, what feels good. So 3 things, coming back to these 3 things for this process. To create a new life, to create that fun, juicy, soul-aligned life. 3 things. Firstly, decide to create a new life. Decide. We are all just one decision away from creating whatever the hell we want. Sober freedom, alcohol freedom, whatever freedom, emotional freedom, wealth, financial freedom, traveling, spiritual freedom is all just a decision away. Easy. Now the hard part is next we have to commit. We have to commit to creating that new life. We're like, okay, I'm going to commit, but just knowing that in that commitment, we may have stuff come up like, well, I'm not sure I can do it. It's like I'm committed to trying, but I'm not sure I can. That's okay, of course. We need to create evidence that we can. We need to create that evidence and that proof for our brain, because our egos are going to pipe up and say, well, why is this time going to be any different? You won't do it. You never do. You always fail. That's what my brain used to tell me. And we don't have to listen to that. We can turn that volume down and just say, no, I'll show you I can do it. And then step 3 is work your plan. So know that it is a practice. The next thing we need to know to create this plan, this structured guidance, is to know who we are. And that was something that I just didn't know. When I first stopped drinking, I didn't know who I was without drinking. I mean, I hadn't drunk for like a long time. It's probably just over a few years, but I really did drink way too much, like a bottle to a bottle and a half most days, and it didn't feel good. Before that, I'd been in lots and lots of controlling situations. I just didn't have any confidence. I had high anxiety. I never felt safe anywhere. So knowing who I was just was not anywhere that I'd never been before. It had never ever felt safe to explore that. And to be honest, I'd never even given it any thought. So the way to answer this question, to find out, what's true for you, what are your values, is just ask yourself, what's important to me? What is important to me? And when I ask myself this question, I could say things like, well, my health is important to me. My energy levels are important to me. Freedom is important to me. My husband, my dog, my loved ones, my family, they're important to me. Taking care of me is important to me so that I feel well and I can be there for myself and for others. Taking care of my home is important to me. Giving to others, being of service, earning money, nature, having a relationship with God's source energy, whatever that is, those things are important to me. And so when you start making this list of what is important to you, and I think at that deep, deep level, it really is about inner peace, calm, freedom, like feeling in control. Those are like the core things that we all want. We want to be loved. We want to be loved and we want to feel safe, right? We want to feel safe. We want to feel comforted and nurtured. But we're always constantly looking outside of ourselves for those things. And this is what I did. I felt so empty inside. I felt there was a huge hole and there was something big was really missing. Yeah, there was something missing. And so I was always looking for something to fill it. And it did temporarily. Too much cake, too much wine, buying shiny object things, But it was a temporary fix and it was a fake fix. It wasn't the thing. So since then, we can find the things, we can start claiming those pieces of our soul, of ourselves that we have neglected, that we have forgotten, that we've just not owned anymore, or those pieces that really are crying out for that healing and that love. And slowly we can start to really forgive ourselves with so much kindness, so much compassion, so much love, which I know how hard it can feel, but we must do this. At the very least, being gentle with ourselves, just knowing that we have been through so much. And to even be here on this journey is so brave, so courageous. So no beating yourself up. Forgive yourself. It's time to release. It's time to let go of all the things that don't serve. And it's time to really start again with fresh eyes, fresh energy. Just cultivating a space where you can just really slow down and ask yourself great questions. Great questions that are going to help you to dig a little deeper. And coming at this with curiosity. No blame, no shame, no judgment. Just really, really neutral witness, observer, imagining like you're a hawk in the sky, just looking down at yourself. And just noticing the things that you're doing in your day, the things that you're choosing, the things that you're deciding. What can you let go of? And also, what's working? What feels good? So ask yourself, what's important to you? What's important to me? And also, relax. Really relax with this process. Relax into sobriety and understand that it's a journey, it's an unfolding, it's going to be messy, and that's okay. It's not meant to be perfect. There's high days, there's low days, and it's really about just holding yourself through that, right? Ask yourself things like, what do I feel when? Like, what feelings do you love? What do you love? Like, I love it when I ... For example, I love it when I choose to slow down and notice how I'm feeling. Or I love it when I don't jump on my phone first thing, and I sit with tea and I just read some of my book for 5 minutes. Or whatever the thing is, just notice the things that you love and start doing more of those. And also, it really is one day at a time. It's a one day at a time journey. It's choosing new actions, it's choosing new thoughts, and it's choosing new beliefs so that you really can create a soul-aligned life that you love. So this soul-aligned guided structure can be anything you want, as long as it feels good to you. It's your plan, but really holding and supporting yourself in place with the rituals, the habits, the routines that you love. And when you practice these, when you do these 3 things, when you decide, you commit, and you work it, you rinse and repeat. You do that day in, day out, until that's just you, that's just who you are. And you are so happy because these things fill you with so much joy. They're your bliss habits. So I'm going to be teaching the Wellness Tree, which is my soul-aligned guided structure that I use for me personally. I use it with my clients, and I am going to be teaching this for free. I'll show you how to create it, and we will be toe dipping into this, and then there will be an opportunity to dive into that deeper with something else that I'm creating after that. But this is to help you to get something in place if you don't, and if you do have something in place, fantastic, and you'll be able to maybe get some seeds of inspiration from this and just weave that in as well. So I hope this has been helpful. Stay doing it. Just decide, just commit, and just work it. Keep doing it. If you wobble off track, doesn't matter. Bring yourself back. Keep going. Keep going. Lots of love. Bye.